Greetings, Zenith, and welcome to the full moon video. As I'm speaking in this exact moment, the moon is now fully illuminated, and so I always feel it deep within my own body, heart, soul, and so I am coming to you to make this video and to give some insights on what I can with this reading. So, full moon in Aquarius, August 1st, 2023. Currently sitting at 9 degrees Aquarius. So Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. So we look to Saturn to see the ruler, more or less, of this full moon. And Saturn, if you don't know, is the planet of karma. It is the planet of boundaries. It is the planet of limitations, responsibility, structure, maturity. It is father time. Saturn teaches us to have proper boundaries in our lives and proper structure. You know, Saturn gets better with time. So this moon, in its fullness, being controlled by Saturn, let's look at Saturn. Saturn is in Pisces, currently retrograding at 5 degrees Pisces. So this is really important, and this is actually a very individualized transit. You know, which house is that for you? I'm not going to go through it all, but let's give an example. For Virgo rising, if Saturn is retrograding in Pisces, then it's in your 7th house. So this would point to boundaries and relationships, okay? If you're dealing with Pisces rising, then it's the opposite. It's the 1st house of self, of physical body. So we would look at this and say, what are some of the things that you can come into to practice more self-discipline? We need to look at both houses, you know. So for Leo rising, this full moon is in the 7th house of marriage, of partnership, of relationship, of business partnerships, of that and the other. And then Saturn that's going to be the 8th house, okay? So, you know, shared resources, the house of psychology, the house of sex, the house of where two become one, you know, and on and on and on. We can even look further into this and say, okay, well, Saturn is in Pisces, so Pisces is ruled by Neptune and Jupiter. So we need to look at both of these planets and see where they are and what houses they're in, you know, so that we can see an individualized, accurate reading for this full moon for you, and so forth and so forth. You know, Neptune is currently in Pisces as well, where it rules. So lots of imagination, lots of fantasy, lots of escape, lots of things that could be. And then Jupiter has just been trucking along through Taurus, you know, which is expanding wealth, it's expanding value, it's expanding things of the physical nature, you know. So so for Jupiter, we look to Venus, you know, because Venus rules Taurus, right? So Jupiter's in Taurus, if you follow me. Then we look to Venus. Where's Venus? Okay, dun da dun da dun. Venus is in Leo retrograding, and we are now deep in the heart of Leo, of Venus retrograde in Leo. Okay, so all of the month of August, we're gonna have this, and it's just gonna ramp up. You may notice relationships coming into your life, you know, or reevaluating relationships. You know, this is really the time for that. That's what's going to happen. It's not necessarily the best time to start new romantic relationships, even though that could be a theme, you know. And you don't necessarily need to take my advice, because it is with everyone different. Venus retrograde, however, is going to test our relationships, as in everything's up for reevaluation, and we need to ask ourselves if we are coming into the correct embodiment for these relationships, you know. So a lot of people are readjusting, kind of stepping away from things that they were involved with, and they're kind of wanting to start afresh or escape, you know, things that that were. So the strongest relationships will survive Venus retrograde in Leo this next month, and then it goes direct again September 3rd, I believe. So that's going to be the, what do you call that? The renunciation, the resolution of Venus retrograde in September. So all of August, we really get to experience the trial of this transit, which is really important. For those of you in long-term relationships, Venus retrograde is an excellent time for you to really strengthen your bond and to really test the metals of your relationships and see, you know, if you guys got what it takes to get through this rough patch, because it will certainly be a challenge. Venus is also money. It's also values. You know, what do we value? What house is this happening for you? This is going to say a lot in this specific transit. So let's back up though and go back to this full moon for the entire collective, because you know, I can give a very individualized reading for each and every one of you, and I should, and I would love to, and I will, because I already have lots of people I read for. But for this, we're going to look at a general overall collective reading. The boundaries of self and other. I mean, Saturn is opposite Mercury, so it's really the balance between communicating the details, communicating to ourselves and others, where I end, where you begin, the nature of this relationship, what we're doing here together, you know, is this, you know, basically Saturn is setting the structure and reevaluating, because Saturn's retrograde as well, for Mercury, the communication. So it's just really important. I think this is an potent time of communication. And yes, we do have the Mercury retrograde coming. I'm not going to talk much about that yet, but we will dive into that soon. Because Venus retrograde is a little more rare than Mercury retrograde. It happens 3 or 4 times a year. So with this one, we're really, you know, Aquarius is a humanitarian. It really represents, those two waveforms represent electricity and represent electromagnetics. It's not really the water bringer at all. There's no water associated with Aquarius whatsoever. It's a very detached sign. It's quite eccentric and quirky, and it's a great astrological sign. So in your natal chart, I mean, it's going to really speak to what planets are there in Aquarius and what you got going on, and that's all individualized based on your chart. So, but generally speaking, we're going to look to Saturn, and Saturn in the collective transit is at 5 degrees Pisces. So the discipline, the structure, the architecture, the boundaries that one needs to make in order for the imagination, in order for the dream to come alive, in order for us to really step into what it is we wish to create, we're going to need to be disciplined. We're going to need to be up on our structure, okay? And so this full moon is letting us know, you know, what kind of structure that really is, and what we're doing to step forward in that process, that illuminated way. Okay, guys, I want to keep it short and sweet. I have been rambling in the past, so I'm not sure if you like my rambles. If you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know, and I will, you know, I mean, I'm not going to really change too much to please anyone, but I am going to do what I can at this time to reach a broader audience and to be a little more concise in my message and to help others. I just started a Star Fairy Club, my Star Fairy Club. We have different tiers. The lowest tier is basically me reading transits for you every week. This past week, it has been by donation to enter. So if you want to enter, I would do it, especially if you're coming from this video and you see this and you want to join. You know, I told people I would stop doing that August 1st. It is August 1st, so a part of me does not want to do that. I want to set a specific amount for this lowest tier. And so, but how about this? If you want to join Star Fairy by donation, and you want me to start reading for you on a monthly, weekly basis, individually, like, yo, this is what's happening for you, and I'm gonna do my best to do this once a week. As we get more people, I'm gonna have to back off. I can't necessarily do that forever, but as the group is still pretty low, relatively, I mean, we're around 10 people. I think we just passed 10 people. So from there, we're gonna have a higher tier, which could be, you know, basically my plan is to incorporate energy work with the readings as well as all these other modalities and things that I do. So the lowest tier is by donation to enter with the password. Your password for this is StarFairy777. If you send me that in a direct message on social media, I'm Star Ranger on Facebook, I am Zenith Mystery School on Instagram, StarFairy777. If you message that to me, I will let you join Star Fairy by donation, okay? Besides that, I'm thinking of subscription-based group, you know, around the $50 mark. It's gonna be a lot of value. A month, you know, and then from there, we're just going up. From there, it's just gonna get even more detailed and intense, I mean, personal, intimate, so. And then I'm also life coaching and taking on one-on-one clients who really want to work with me like on a one-on-one basis in a very intimate way. So if you're interested in me being your transformational coach, if you're interested in me helping you get into alignment to the thing that you want to achieve, whatever it is, whether it's business, romantic relationship, you know, learning metaphysics, learning astrology, you know, accomplishing whatever it is, I would love to be your coach. You can hire me for that. So please reach out. In the meantime, I'm reading like a madman, so you guys all be patient with me. I love this. I love doing this. This is so much fun. I'm having so much fun doing this. And I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting Zenith, and I will see you in the next video. And you guys, pay extra attention to your relationships and the relationships you have with yourself through this Venus retrograde, through the month of August. And we will, if you don't hear from me from other videos, you will certainly hear from me on the new moon, which will be a big one, guys. It's gonna be a big one. Okay, much love. Talk to you soon. Over and out, everybody. Bye-bye.